going on, man?
Back at it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You were sick.
Man, yeah, man. This is.
My first question was, did you get the Rona?
No, but like a couple people I know, black people, I've said it. Yeah, I'm coughing. I'm telling, oh, you got that Rona? Like, no, like for me, if the weather doesn't stay like consistent, like if it changes, like just all of a sudden goes from this to this, I'll 9 times 10 it'll start messing with my allergies and stuff like that. So that's what happens, But most of the time, right now,
so
you can't get the flu.
So
you're not allowed to have anything else.
What was it that you had?
I just had a cold. I just had a flu. A flu.
Wait.
Just like flu. Yeah.
I thought you said AIDS.
I ain't have no. The hell no! I'm have AIDS for.
Oh man, I got you a T-shirt and everything.
Oh yeah, so fuck you. Do I look like do I look like anybody? Am I Arthur Ashe? Do I look like that? I don't have no fucking fro, do I? No, no. Am I kicking a bucket in Philadelphia in the movie? No. Okay, I'm none of that shit. But no, but seriously, yeah, it happens. I had a little flu because I was coughing. My body was aching a little bit, sneezing, and all that shit. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, but I'm okay.
Good.
All right.
Well, I'm glad we're back. I appreciate everybody that's patient. For anybody that's watching, kind of changed some of the props up a little bit and
yes,
added some stuff. You see, I have a whole Batman weird,
of course,
Joker memorabilia section there.
I like the Lego Batman because I love that movie.
Yeah,
he was just like he was a narcissist and he was just stuck with himself, nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't
that Will Arnett?
I think so.
He's awesome. Yeah. I love that dude.
I just like that whole fact that they did Batman and they kept the 1989 look.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
So speaking of Legos, I don't know if you saw right down here.
Yes.
I built a little something the other night.
Yes.
Eric and I have been watching a reality television show that I'm kind of embarrassed about. But I built this while we were watching it, and
what was you
I don't know if you can see, but high ground.
I see. I can tell that, but I'm more concerned now what you're watching. I understand. Don't do it, and can I have the high ground? Yes, but
I hate you.
What were you watching?
Ink Masters.
There's nothing wrong with that.
The show. Okay, so Dave Navarro is the host, and honestly, like the first couple seasons, Erica and I couldn't really get past the fact that he had so much Botox, like. He never really moved his face. So they would like cut away from him most of the time when he was talking, like, to other reactions and stuff. And reality TV kind of lends itself to a lot of camera cuts anyway.
Right.
But I would say he's definitely, as a host, gotten so much better as the seasons have gone on. And he's actually one of the things I really like about the show now. I knew I hit a new low when I actually cheered out loud for one of the contestants making it to the final in one of the seasons. And then I immediately became ashamed. Like, I completely bought into this show because we were watching it kind of as a joke. And it's really like you see some bad tattoos, which is unfortunate because people are walking out of there with bad tattoos. But I mean, people get bad tattoos at tattoo places all the time. So, but it's the drama that happens in between the tattooing and these people living in a condo or something together. And it's so over the top ridiculous. And everybody seems to fuck up these statements, right? So you've got these like typical phrases like, well, you can't lead a horse to water.
All right.
Yeah, but instead someone will go, well, you try to teach them and they either drink the water or eat the mud. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. I thought you was going to say, like, I was like, okay, what show is you watching? I thought you were going to say RuPaul. I was going to look at you and go, do I need to leave, like, right now? Like, I was just saying.
Why is that the one that you automatically went to?
Because you always on some gay shit. There you go. That's the reason why.
I'm always on some gay shit?
Yeah, you always talk about my penis. So anyway.
I admit nothing.
Oh God, there you go. Oh man, but anyway, I don't knock anybody if you watch Ink Masters or anything like that. I mean, I've heard of the show, but I just never sat down and tried to get into it. Never have.
It's kind of unfortunate. So I guess they had 13 seasons, and then they got canceled because of some cancel culture stuff. But
of course. Oh, that's what's going on.
So it's Dave Navarro and then these two famous tattoo artists, Oliver Peck and Nunez is from Miami Ink.
Yeah.
And so the two of them are the main judges, and Dave Navarro's the third judge, and they pretty much host the show. Well, Oliver Peck apparently had social media posts from years ago when he had dressed in blackface. And it came out, and he willingly said, I'm not going to, dispute. I should definitely be off the show. I don't want the show to suffer for it. Well, they did cancel the show, but I think in part because of the whole, pandemic stuff.
Right.
But they are going to bring the show back. But I looked up the pictures, and I think it was like a Halloween thing. Like he went as like Julia Serving or something, I think.
Yeah, I mean, but
I don't know, man. I still think
I think it's to a point to where it shouldn't be done anyway, regardless. Even though,
well, it shouldn't. It absolutely shouldn't. But we're still talking about idiotic stuff people did. Like I don't know when this was. This could have been in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like it's still wrong,
right? Exactly.
Now,
exactly.
And I would say it should have been wrong then, but you had movies like Soul Man with C. Thomas Howell.
Soul Man, but I still watch that, and I mean it's one of the movies I.
But then you also have Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. Look here, Robert Downey Jr. gets a pass because at the end of the day, this is how he got his pass. When I forgot what awards it was, Cuban Gooding Jr. got up there and was like, Robert Downey Jr., how you take the job from a black man?
I know.
And the thing about it is, everybody's laughing. Robert Jr. had to like, oh shit, I'm feeling some shit now. But at the same time, we loved it. It was funny. It was funny.
Really well done. And the point of it was brought in really well.
Yeah. But I'm like I said, but it's all things now that we in this time that should not be done, but at the same time, if you do it, there's a certain way to be. If you're trying to be humorous, there's a certain way to go about it, but get it cleared through certain people first.
I just have difficulty with revisionist history.
But history is always going to repeat itself because we haven't learned yet.
Well, yeah, but just in the sense that everybody makes mistakes, you hopefully learn and grow from them. If I'm the same person today that I was 15 years ago, then I can totally understand why, someone will want to cancel me for idiotic things. But, if I had social media back then, it would have been terrible. I would have said all kinds of stupid shit.
Right.
Because I was dumb. I'm still not really, really bright. So, like.
Neither one of us are. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and say that. Like, oh, and it's just you. No, me either. I'm not.
Life is full of bad decisions. I think I learn more from that than I do from an easy win.
You can sit there and read a book all day long, but the best thing is that life. The best teacher is life.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you're not gonna hit it on the head through a book, because a book you're always reading from somebody else's words, somebody else's experiences, but you have to go through yourself and just get it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We definitely have to hit Falcon and Winter Soldier. So the first season is officially done.
Yeah, it's done.
And I think there were some really cool parts. Overall, I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I really liked it. There were some questions, obviously, some things that kind of were a little bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, you see they had the new tag, Captain America and Winter Soldier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the whole season, Sam is basically toiling and trying to figure out whether he is Captain America, right?
Basically.
And in the end, he takes on the mantle. Well done, right?
Right.
Okay. So you give him that Captain America. He's no longer Falcon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did Bucky not work that whole season to shake the Winter Soldier persona?
I mean, he
to
did.
make amends, to clear that whole list, including the most difficult one, the old Japanese guy where he killed his son.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day,
you still slap Winter Soldier on there. Isn't that kind of cruel?
It's supposed to be White Wolf.
That would have been amazing if they had gone Captain America and White Wolf.
It was supposed to be White Wolf, and I'm not mad about that because at the end of the day, Marvel they've done a pretty good job for me not to be so argumentative on this one. I mean, and plus it's Anthony Mackie, so I'm not worried about it. You could have did, like I said, you could put anybody else in this part and I would have accepted it. I told you could put Samuel Jackson to play him, Nick Fury and Falcon. I would have accepted it. I'm Falcon. I'm like, that is Falcon.
You can't, Sam Jackson can't monopolize
Look here.
More than 70%.
But he can say some gangsta ass shit though. I got wings, motherfucker. That would work.
Yeah.
I would have been right there for it. I'd be like, go Sam.
But then he can't make Captain America.
Sam as Sam.
Sam as Sam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not buying it. Nope.
Yeah.
So, no, I thought the series itself though was really good. The fallen Cap, right. John Walker, right. is going to be kind of an interesting development for the second season.
Well,
but they're doing a standalone movie, right?
For a U.S. agent?
No, for Captain America.
Okay.
It's going to be the fourth Captain America movie, but it's going to be starring Anthony.
It has to work. Because U.S. agent, he's going to screw up a lot of stuff. And and it's already a screw up anyway. I mean, you got Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's child together, and it mixed, and it didn't work well. He has the features of his father, but the hair of his mother.
What's with the chin?
And I don't know what's up with the chin. Like it's just like he was just like the movie in Overboard. He's just overboard. Like just his career is already starting bad because nobody liked him.
Is that the Pixar animated movie with the old man? No, Up. No, Did you see the comparison of the old man from Up?
I seen that shit.
They put the helmet on him. I said, it looked fucking exact.
I said, I'm done. I'm done. like you. And the thing about it is like there's certain moments where you could see when he turns his head, you could see him looking like his father. Right. And then there's certain parts where he was just kind of standing there trying to be proud, and he looked just like his mom. I was just like, choose who you want to be. Are you going to be Goldie Hawn or are you going to be fucking Kurt? Pick one.
Come on. They were both attractive. Look here.
I'm not going to look here. I don't look at people like that. Okay.
What do you mean?
Goldie Hawn was something back in her day.
You can't say anything about Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell was that dude in Big Trouble in Little China. Now that's my dude. Now that was my dude. That was my movie.
Tango and Cash.
Yeah. You taking me back now? You taking me back? Tango, Cash. It works. But in general, Goldie Hawn, I don't know what age she was when she was fine, because Goldie Hawn is about the same. She's about 2,000 years old. So.
Goldie Hawn was hot in the late 60s.
So she was
all the way up. She was attractive like forever.
Goldie Hawn is so old she don't even know her age no more. She don't know. She's just that old. And then Kurt Russell, he's just going by the movies like, okay, I started this year in 19-something. I'm really this old. He don't even go by when he don't know when he was born either. Like they just too old.
He's just been around that long.
Money. They've been around that long. Think about it. If they don't know how old they are, you think Jack Nicholson barely knows if he got hoagies, if he got ones in the refrigerator or not. He don't fucking know either. Yeah. He's an old motherfucker too. Like people, but that's the thing. I think another reason why I hate you don't want to see new actors, but you have to see them because Hollywood is getting old and they have to get ready to go and say, we have to get these people in or before we're going to lose it all. And then everybody from overseas is going to be coming over just doing every role.
Well, and it's amazing with the scope of some of these movies, like when you're doing, especially like these Marvel series or Star Wars or anything that's, these trilogies and spinoffs, and to have characters or actors that are willing to be involved with a certain character for that long. Like, there was a joke in Frasier in the very last season where he's talking to somebody and they say, well, do you know how difficult it is to be typecast as something for 20 years? Mm-hmm. And he had in that point with Cheers and Frasier have been playing that character for 20 years.
Yeah.
So it was kind of an inside joke. But, that's more of a television thing than it is for movies.
But
and
he's
for
a great writer, though.
Well, but like, when you get these characters that'll sign on for these long periods of time and do, all of these different movies, it's pretty incredible to think about. But it works with the continuity of it, right? Like, we were actually watching Captain America, the First Avenger, just because with the new Cap coming out eventually, we figured we'd run through. And I love the Avenger movies. I love the Iron Man movies. I think my favorite Thor movie was Ragnarok. I really, the first one wasn't that exciting for me.
Right.
I thought the second one was a little better. But I had felt the same way about Captain America movies. Winter Soldier was my favorite. Then Civil War was okay, but kind of lackluster because, they didn't have the really big epic battle at the airport like they really should have.
You really didn't get it in
Instead of like 32 superheroes on each side in this massive thing, you got 8 and 8, and it seemed like they were going for like a pickup basketball game or something.
Yeah. You didn't get that either in Endgame, because if it went by the comics, everybody was supposed to be there. Everybody.
You at least got a much better feel for an epic battle because so many of them were coming out. And even though there were just, little CGI'd images of people, you still got the kind of, grandeur of it in that scope.
I just didn't get Hulk. The Hulk, they just they watered the Hulk so much as his powers is a shame.
I know. Well, there's a reason he ends up being like the last.
Yeah.
But, I really actually watching the first Avenger a second time, I really liked it a lot better. Like, it's actually a pretty good movie. The CGI that they did with Chris in the beginning of it, honestly was pretty good. I generally try to go into movies suspending, belief, because I don't want to, sit there and have to nitpick everything, although I end up doing it if there's just too much shit.
That's just normal. That's normal white people to pick everything up. Y'all do. Y'all do that. Everything you do.
I am not going to get into what black people or white people do kind of conversation.
I tell you what we do in the movies. We yell at that motherfucker. We yell, "Don't go in that door, motherfucker! Didn't I tell you to not go in the door?" That's what we do. And all of a sudden they go, "Gee, what's behind this door? This motherfucker!" That's us in the movie theater every time.
All I'm saying is, if I'm going to get canceled off something I say, it's not going to be a slow pitch across the plate. You're not going to hand feed me one.
I'm just saying. But I get it. It's movies now, especially like movies like that. You always do want to go back because people don't understand how well thought out the whole MCU, all these movies were so thought out, and everything ties into each other, even though they're going down the road to the Eternals, and they're going down to, like I said, the new Black Widow's coming to Shang-Chi or Shang-Fu or something like that.
Yeah.
Even down their way,
the 10 Rings.
You're still going to be able to go back. They're still going to be able to go back and touch back all the way through all these the other characters that's not even there or are gone on, and still have relations. Like even the first trailer of the Shang-Chi, the first thing you seen was an arm with purple around the middle. We all know that's vibranium. That's from Wakanda. It's still going back, so it's still showing the effects of what's been going on. So it's great. It's great.
Yeah. So there's something I started like binge watching on YouTube. It's actually part of Screen Rant. But it's this guy Ryan George, and he does these pitch meetings, and it's basically him in front of a green screen talking to himself in front of a green screen, doing these kind of office pitch meetings. And not surprising, he's Canadian, so that's probably why I find it funny.
I'm sitting right next to one.
I lined one of them up just because I find him hysterical, and I know we wanted to talk about a certain movie.
So you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. Mortal Kombat. Oh, that's that game
somebody's spine explodes and you need a bit of therapy. That's the one, sir. So I figure since the game is still super popular, we make a movie about it. It has been a while since we tried that, so what happens in this thing? Well, we're gonna start the movie in 1617 Japan, right? And Sub-Zero's gonna show up and kill Scorpion's family. Oh, extremely rude. Very impolite. For sure. And so in Chinese, Sub-Zero's gonna be like, hey, I ended your bloodline, you sucker. And Scorpion's gonna be like, I'm Japanese. I have no idea what you're talking about, but let's fight. Oh boy. So then they do fight, and Sub-Zero ends up stabbing Scorpion real bad and then leaving. Oh, bad guys love leaving before making sure their enemy's really dead. Yeah, and so if he had stuck around, he would have seen that Scorpion was crawling towards his hidden baby and then turns into fire and disappears. Ah, so the bloodline is still going. Exactly, and then after that really intense first scene, everything's gonna kind of go downhill from there. Sure, if we start strong, we'll have people's attention, and we could kind of stop trying story-wise from there on out. So we're gonna meet this not very good MMA fighter named Cole Young, right? Oh, I don't remember him from the game. That makes sense, because I made him up. Oh, you did? Well, because this way the audience is gonna have someone to identify with, you know? Someone who's learning the rules of the world at the same time as them. I mean, there are like 100 Mortal Kombat characters. Can't we just pretend like one of them is learning about this world for the first time? We could, but instead we're gonna spend a bunch of time developing this guy and his family. Is that gonna take screen time away from the characters that fans came to see? Oh, most definitely. A ton of it. Well, okay then. So Cole is actually a descendant of Scorpion, and he has this little dragon birthmark on him, and he keeps seeing flashes of Scorpion when he looks in the mirror. Okay. And because of this mark, Sub-Zero's gonna show up and try to kill him. Oh no. But then this guy Jax is gonna show up, and he's gonna be like, hey, you gotta go find Sonya Blade, and don't stay with your family, because dark forces will murder them. Sounds like solid advice. It is, and so then Sub-Zero rips off Jax's arms and leaves before making sure he's dead. Oh, so that's like this guy's whole thing. It is. So then Cole goes to see Sonya Blade, and she has a whole wall of exposition to show him. I mean, she's all equipped for this exposition dump. So what does Cole learn? Well, there's this big tournament between a bunch of realms, and this bad guy Shang Tsung wants to kill all the champions before the tournament because he's a big fat cheater. So what decides who's a champion? Oh, anyone with a dragon mark is a champion, and either you're born with it or you kill someone who has it. So if you kill someone who has a mark, you automatically get it. Exactly. That's what happened with this criminal guy Kano that Sonya captured. So like if a 95-year-old senile grandpa accidentally runs over a champion, he will then have to fight to defend the Earth realm? Yeah, I guess so. Well, let me ask you something. Can we make that movie instead? Well, I kind of worked hard on this one. Fair enough. So what else happens? So Kano knows where this guy Raiden has a temple, so they all head to that general area. Okay. And then this guy Liu Kang shows up, and he's like, it's my job to find champions, and I found you guys. I mean, sounds like they're pretty much there. He didn't really do any of the work. Yeah, well, he's gonna take credit for it. Well, good for him. So then this Raiden guy is gonna be like, alright, you all have this thing called Arcana. It's like a superpower. You gotta unlock it, and that'll help you in the tournament. Okay, okay. But Sonya doesn't have a mark, but she still gets to hang out. Oh, he lets her hang out. Raiden sounds like a pretty chill guy. He's not. Oh, okay. So they start training a whole bunch, and Kano, he unlocks a laser beam eyeball. He's real happy about it. How does he manage that? By arguing about egg rolls. What? But then things aren't really working out for Cole because he's the worst. So Raiden is like, alright, you gotta get out of here, Cole. Go back to your family. And he's like, alright, I'm going home now. Bye. But there are still dark forces coming for him because of the mark, right? Yeah, so he goes back to his family. But his whole thing about going was so that they'd be safe. Yeah, he forgot about that part, so he goes back to his family. Well, okay then. But while he's back home, this big monster Goro's gonna be sent to kill him. Oh, I remember Goro. He was like a big boss guy. Gonna be tough to beat him. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, when Cole's family's in danger, that's when he unlocks his superpower. So he defeats Goro, no problem. Oh, so he becomes Scorpion. Now he gets a cool little outfit made entirely of plot armor. Okay, kind of seemed like you were building up to him becoming Scorpion. Yeah, that may have seemed like the cooler and more logical point to build towards, but instead Cole is going to transform into Cole with a cooler sweater. Sure, that may as well happen. Anyway, so meanwhile, Kano betrays everybody and lets the bad guys into Raiden's temple. Oh no. So they start kicking everybody's butts, and that Shang Tsung guy grabs this guy Kung Lao. What's he gonna do to him? Well, this one guy's like, oh, he's about to get his soul sucked. Oh, getting your soul sucked is... Nope, don't say it. Oh, getting your soul, please stop. It's just that's kind of my thing. Every meeting I say that something is tight. I know. It's just kind of my catchphrase. I'm gonna feel weird all day if I don't get it out. Yeah, no, I know. It's just sometimes it's random, but sometimes it's kind of gross, so maybe just get that out later when I'm gone. Oh, getting it out later when you're gone is tight. Okay. So
Jesus Christ.
All the good guys to this white void where the bad guys can't go. But there's a white void where the bad guys can't go? Why didn't they train there? Well, because there's this whole thing where Raiden's not allowed to intervene, but he's intervening now. He is, yeah, okay. So the group is like, listen up, guys, we need to fight these bad guys again, but this time, we gotta win. How? What's changed? Well, see, the movie's almost over, so all the good guys are gonna be much better fighters now. Oh, okay, great. Also, that Jax guy had little robot chicken arms, but now he has big robot arms. How did that happen?
Robot chicken
Magic
arms.
Gave him robot arms? Magic gave him robot arms, that's right. So then one of the good guys is like, hey, Raiden, you can teleport anyone anywhere, right? He can do what? He can teleport anyone anywhere. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna teleport these bad guys to various locations, and then we'll fight them. Why doesn't he teleport the bad guys into a volcano or to the bottom of the ocean? Okay, so see, that would be an instance where he couldn't intervene, but he can separate them with teleportation so they're defeated in battle. That's right. So does he teleport each bad guy to a different location and have all the champions gang up on that person and just kind of work his way through the line like that? No, see, that's a way he wouldn't be able to intervene. No, I'm very unclear on how this guy's allowed to intervene, so what does he do? Well, he sends them all to, like, 1v1 fights, because that's, like, the game, kind of. That's, like, the game, kind of. It is. So then Sonya's gonna defeat Kano and get her superpowers immediately. How come she gets her superpower at the same time as her mark? I don't know. Fair enough. And then Sub-Zero's gonna freeze Cole's family, which is maybe something that people will care about. Maybe. And then Scorpion's gonna show up from hell, and he's gonna be like, get over here. What, did he take English lessons in hell? He took some very specific English lessons in hell, that's right. So then they're gonna have this really cool fight while Cole just assaults his frozen family in the background. What? And then they're gonna team up and manage to defeat him. Oh, wow. And so, yeah, that's about it. What do you think? Wait, so a bunch of the big bad guys were killed? They were, yeah. So if we want to make a sequel, we can't use any of those guys. Well, we're gonna say that death is just another portal, so. Oh, so none of this mattered. Yeah, none of this mattered, and we could just keep making more and more and more and more of these. I mean, let's not get crazy. Okay. But what if we did get crazy, though? Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, okay.
5-movie contract.
Yes.
Hey everybody,
Yes.
Ryan here, that's me,
Yes.
thanks for watching the video. And if you liked it, feel free to click the like button and the subscribe button and all, buttons of that nature. You can also leave a comment down below letting me know what other movies you want to see pitches for. There are also like hundreds of other episodes on the channel that you can check out if you want. As always, check back soon for a new one. Bye.
All right, so I just think that guy's funny, and pretty spot on as far as the call outs there.
Yeah, he was spot on, but once again, I think another reason why it went the way it went was, I think, because of budgeting. I think for one that it was like, we're trying this again, and let's see what it does first before we really put the money behind it. Because think about it, the last couple Mortal Kombat they tried was not successful.
I mean, they came off just campy and weak.
Right.
So,
I mean,
I thought it was great. It was what I kind of expected it to be, which was, heavily about trying to do fan service stuff, giving you, Liu Kang's flying kick, or the finishing moves. And I thought for the most part they were pulled off pretty well.
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, for one, the only thing I didn't care for was the Cole Young. They didn't needed it.
It was dumb. And part of it was, I'm spending the whole movie going, I can't figure out what character this is.
Yeah. I knew he wasn't. I knew he didn't exist. I knew he didn't exist.
I didn't. I was familiar with the game, but I mean, they've got hundreds of characters, and what, like 12 video games or something? Yeah. I don't know.
You could have pulled off Freddy Krueger and put him in Mortal Kombat. Nobody would have been mad at that because he eventually comes into the game. But in general,
that'll be in one of the sequels.
Bitch. But in general, they did their job as far as in they tried to tell the story. And then once again, if you haven't watched it, go see it to let you know it's not like this is the actual tournament. This is actually before the tournament. So,
well, yeah, they don't get to the tournament because they wanted to cheat. So,
yeah. So, I mean, and that's pretty much, I think that's another thing that another reason too. They're going to explain that reason why they can bring people back is because of that.
Because it wasn't the actual
tournament.
tournament.
Yeah. I think that's but it like I said, but Kano was funny. He was hilarious the whole time.
He was
like he pretty much made it. Jax is. I just couldn't stop looking at that Richard Pryor mustache. I was just like, dog, it's just a little too thick for me. Sub-Zero, the dude who played him is that dude. Like, he was brutal as Sub-Zero. I like the old boy playing Scorpion because I always liked him in his movies he's been in.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. Raiden, I was like, okay, you did decent, but I could have wished you could have came off with a more superior dominance. Like, I'm Raiden, like, but still, he
seemed timid for Raiden.
And then Shang Tsung, they could have went back and got the dude from the first one.
I don't know. I thought he was pretty good though.
He was okay. He's the dude.
I thought he fit it.
He was the dude in the the Dark Knight, the one with the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was him. It was that dude. But they could have went and got back in Shang. They could have got the old one. There's another reason why they can get the old one, because in every game, Shang Tsung doesn't look the same. So they could have did that. But then I looked him up and see how he was. He does look like a old piece of mold now, like just with a little hair up top. And I was just like, damn, he got old. Robin Shue played Liu Kang back in that. He's getting old too,
Yeah, I like the person they got for Liu Kang.
Yeah.
Kung Lao I thought was really good.
Oh, Kung Lao was the shit.
Yeah, I was disappointed that he got his soul sucked out. That was disappointing.
But I loved how it caught everybody off guard. I was like, oh shit, like Shang Tsung, like he's like, yo, like you can't do that shit no more now. I'm gonna get your soul. I was like, oh shit. But it was cool, like how they just kind of like, let me give you a little bit. Now I didn't like they killed Melina so quick. Because Melina,
but Kung Lao's finishing move was so fucking dope.
It was just
with
like the game.
Fucking hat.
That's one of the fatalities from the game, and it was just like,
oh, it was crazy.
And the way it just started spinning, I was like, no. And I like the way he just sat there, like he was just sitting there, just like, okay, I'm gonna feel her energy, and then all of a sudden, it just rode her right on in. I was just like, yeah, that's a brutal one. I was like, I love that one. Scorpion, he's a beast with it, and I like the fact that they didn't limit his power to being just, I'm gonna shoot here or I'm gonna draw the sword here. Like I like how he was fighting Jax putting freeze burn on him. I was like, oh shit. It was great. And then with Scorpion, like I like the fact that they just kind of piecing. Let me show you just a little bit. They had to do the skull fatality because that was the easiest fatality you learned out of the whole game with Scorpion.
It was the one most people did,
and like blow punch or something like that.
I mean, really, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, and Liu Kang were the ones that I used frequently.
Yeah, and even then, and a lot of people don't know that Scorpion. This is a beginning of Scorpion's story. It's not all the way told. Quan Chi hasn't even came in yet. So, and Quan Chi has a lot to do with the Lin Kuei and the reason why this happened to Scorpion. So,
very, very cool. So, have you any opinions on vaccination? Yes, no.
I got a lot of opinions on this shit. I'm kind of holding out until it's required. I don't think, like I said, you should push it upon people, because at the end of the day, just because you in general can go like, oh, I need to go take the shot. Cool. But some people are pretty much healthy and they get a shot like that. Everybody don't know how to take that.
So I'm going to tell you that largely I think the vaccine is pretty safe. I know a lot of people have that 24 to 48 hour kind of side effect, especially after the second shot and blah, blah, blah. But the fact of it is all 4 of the current ones that are on the market basically give you a spike protein that what it does is kickstart your immune system into creating an antibody. Okay. So that's what the purpose of the vaccine is.
So it has protein.
It has a spike protein in it. And this is proven. CDC, you can look this up.
Right.
And what it's going to do is it's going to create an antibody in your body. So when they say if you've been vaccinated, what it's really doing is helping lessen the symptoms that you would get if you come in contact with the virus.
Right.
Okay. So at no point do they say getting the vaccine, you won't be able to get the virus because you will.
Exactly. You're right. It's still
you're just much better prepared to fight it. Right. And you can still spread the virus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Those are all facts. NBC. I saw it on Fox. I saw it on CNN.
Yeah.
All of them report the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't prevent you from getting it. It doesn't prevent you from spreading it.
Right.
So if I say I'm getting the vaccine, I'm really doing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it's not going to make you any safer.
Exactly.
But in the same sense, if you decide not to get it, it doesn't affect me.
Right.
Because the virus is still going to be out there. People are still going to spread it, right?
It's still
so my whole thing is if somebody wants to take the virus or the vaccine, go for it, right? Yeah. But if you don't want to, it's not changing anything. It's not going to lessen the curve. It's
right.
You're taking your own chances. I've had it.
Yeah.
I already have an antibody.
Right.
Why would I need a spike protein to give me an antibody?
I mean, I might take just because it says protein. No, stop. Get the protein. That's right.
Get it out of the chicken and the rice.
Get it the chicken, the rice. Your carbs. It's a balanced meal. That's right. It's just, that's right. You see here, there. Nah, but
like, I mean, people that they're talking about like a vaccine passport.
Yeah.
That if you want to go to concerts, if you want to go to sporting events, if you want to travel places, you would have to have this vaccine passport. And I don't understand what purpose it serves.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm just kind of like, okay, you know, I mean,
people are upset enough about having to have a driver's license to vote.
Exactly. It's crazy.
I still don't understand how that's racist.
I'm still, like I said, right now, I'm still stuck on the fact of, okay, the vaccine for one. Then at the same time, the president, the biggest shit that I've seen over this weekend is the fact of that they don't believe that America is racist. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like,
who doesn't?
Serious? Like the Democrats, this party that's in there now, they put up there like they don't believe that America is racist. I'm like, are you stupid?
Well, I will say this. I think in large, the majority of people aren't. I feel like
it's your opinion. Yeah.
The problem is the smaller group. Now, there again, we could be talking 30-70. You know what I mean? We could be talking 60-40. I don't know.
Right.
I just think the majority of people are generally good people. I think they're assholes and they tend to be the loudest. I think that the things that we see are always going to be the shock value things, which are going to be the negative things. You know, I strongly believe that not all police are racist assholes. I think there are too many of them out there. And those are the ones that you're going to see in social media and things like that, because that's what needs to be addressed. And so it seems like, oh, well, all cops are bad because all you ever see is cops acting like racist assholes.
I'm not saying like far as in cops, but in general, the racism, the reason why I say it, we got over 400 years to prove it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not disagreeing that.
Yeah. I mean, this is like I said, this is not a debate. This is just us sitting up here like we usually do.
I think there's a lot of ignorance still.
Oh, plenty.
And I think when most people that I know define racism, there's a power structure.
Yeah.
Right. So, white people experience bigotry, but we don't experience racism. We might experience discrimination in a sense, but we don't experience racism because there's a power structure in racism specifically, right? So, like, I think the dynamic, I don't really know how to describe what I'm trying to describe.
I mean, it's a lot. it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to go about. But I mean, it's just so much. And I was just sitting there, I was like, what the hell? And then to turn around and just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess
what I was trying to say is like a lot of people's ignorance is more ignorance because they're not necessarily trying for any sort of a power struggle. It's more just a misconception of culture or
I think that, you know,
history.
It's the fact of history, and people think that the way things were is supposed to be, and people are going to be. Change is always not good for everybody, and it's not always something that everybody wants, because at the end of the day, the change may be good for some, the change might be bad for others. Mm-hmm. But regardless, things are going to change. Nothing stays the same. I mean, you know, you're at one point years ago, you looked at China and laughed, and now you're looking at China like, oh shit. Like, you know, I mean, in general, I mean, things are always changing. Mm-hmm. But the reason why they've changed like that, because we've helped them like dumb shits. But still, but we ain't gonna, you know, I'm just saying, you know, I mean, but in general, hey, that's just me saying, you know, my opinion.
Yeah.
But,
shout out to the Hazie Nut.
Yeah, to the Hazie Nut, and it wasn't made in China.
No,
thank you.
No, it wasn't.
Thank you. But anyway, somebody gonna look at this. Oh, I find that motherfucker. I put foot in ass. That's it. That's what they're gonna do. You know, and you know.
I don't know that we're allowed to do that.
Huh?
I don't know that we're allowed to do that.
I don't give a damn. Okay,
you know, it's like Asian Pacific.
This is my thing. And another thing, why did the president sign an order to protect them, but hasn't signed an order to protect any of the black people in general from being killed?
You remember what he did in '94, right?
I'm talking about 2021. This shit. I can't talk about him. I can't talk about that president. I'm talking about Papa Joe. In fact, I'm not even talking about Papa. That's right, Grandpa Joe. Because this gold bricking motherfucker been fucking up. He been fucking up. Hair ain't been combed ever since he fell on that plane. That shit. He got up. He was fucked up. That's it. Just old and shit. He looked just like
him falling on the plane was funny.
That shit was funny because when he got up, he was down for a second. I think he was like, fuck. He was like cursing. Like, and then he just got up and he tried to play like he was cool. No.
It was the second one that ruined him. He could have played off the first stumble, but then he stumbled again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but at that point, I think he's obligated to stop at the top and turn back and salute. I would have ducked straight into that plane.
I would have went into the plane.
Deuces.
I would have went to the plane. And then that's to say, I know he got in there, holding his knees and
that
shit.
Thin skin and ripped up on his shins or something. Go in there and have to get them all taped up.
They probably screwed it back in. It's like, the bolt came loose.
He's got the wooden legs.
I'm telling you, he old. He probably like a mechanical like machine. Like, you know, they just made him old so that people could feel for him. Like, oh, and that's why I keep saying again, why are we hiring these old people? Why? That man got up. When he got up and went to that plane, we don't know if he was in pain or he had shitted on himself because he's too damn old to be up there. Shit. Grinds my gears.
Yeah.
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 Telling you. It makes my ass itch. Let me stop in general, but yeah. The world we live in, man. The world we live in.
All right. So, you know, I meant to say it earlier on, but, you know, Ken and Karl podcast @gmail.com.
Yes.
If you want some bad advice or just if you want to call us out on shit we said, you know,
wisdom,
tell us about your life. I don't really care. Just send us something. I'm tired of getting Apple News emails, and that's it.
I'm just like, you know, hey, you want Apple? I'm like, no, I don't want Apple. I want somebody to send me a message.
Well, you had to go and buy your little MacBook, and now they're sending you like all kinds of spam and shit.
Yeah, I get all that mess, and I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
So actually, before we get into any bad advice, I got to ask you. So, you know, I was super proud the day we released the episode 20, which I still think was a fantastic episode.
Okay.
And I need to cut some clips from it. I haven't done it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been kind of lazy. But you know, I didn't really plan much for this one. I did the little Jarvis bit, and I don't know if anybody knows, but you didn't know that was coming.
I didn't. I had no fucking idea. I said because I see you see my face like what the hell? Like I'm sitting there like I was unprepared. Like he just hit me. My face went like I was like I don't know if I got fart or take a shit. I had that look, and I was just like what the hell? And then he just hit me with it. Hello there, and I'm just like what the fuck?
So and what was funny is I was activating it all from my phone, so I had it kind of broken up into little phrases so that I could interact. So, I could go through and kind of play off it. And then I had certain ones that I knew, like, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Asshole.
Yeah. Asshole. So, I had a blast doing those. I've actually thought about cutting in a bunch of other stuff with the Jarvis voice. But I didn't really have anything planned. So I was super impressed that the day we released, you shared our video on Facebook, and I was like, look at that.
I mean because sometimes I'm forgetting because like I'm half the time I'm at work and shit.
You know what's funny?
Oh, here he is.
Is if you go through your whole timeline from that post on the 13th of April to now, it's quite a few posts.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into
quite
posting.
A few, yeah.
Music and stuff like that.
What is it that you didn't post at all in all of those posts?
Another thing about us.
Anything about us.
I wasn't like
who you posted a lot about. I thought maybe you just like quit and you went to work for Martin Lawrence because.
No, I was just like it came up and I was just like, man, that was funny. Like I was like, man, I missed the show. Like I was just going through it in the moment, but. I'm a big fan of comedy and I'm a big fan of music. I'm gonna always sit there and listen to music and like literally I was the other night just listening to Joe Cocker, with a little help. I was
Sammy Davis Jr. drum solo was sick.
That was sick.
And I knew he played.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the dudes back in the day.
I've heard it, but I'd never seen that video. When I seen it, I was like, shit.
But I'm telling you, that dude has serious chops.
Mad talent.
Oh,
mad talent. Like,
and what's crazy is like there are dudes that'll play every day and never get to that level.
Never.
Sammy was living like a king.
He just had that mouth and boing, man.
And he was, I guarantee you he got on kits and played.
Yeah.
But he wasn't playing every day.
No.
And to just hop on stage and just rip that out was fucking amazing.
Natural ability, man. Some people are like don't understand that they're built to entertain. They're built to absorb the music and just pick it up and just go, And it's just, I mean, some people have that gift. I mean, it's basically in any form of entertainment, and it's just people. There's people like that, they just pick it up, Like what's the dude? Lenny Bruce. Lenny Bruce is a natural. As far as in getting on the stage and talking cash shit. You know? I mean, you don't get everybody who can naturally do that. And then some people, they just learn it along the way. But just some people, they just know how to swing it. Like they know their format this well, then they just work it, But the music thing, I'm always going to love music. That's never going to stop. Like I'm always going to go through and like, oh shit, this was the shit. This was the shit. Like,
I'm just saying maybe.
Yeah, I know I'm working in more. I mean, like I said, I know I have to get more as far as in on the social media tip because that's just like, because sometimes I'm like, do I want to post this? Did my head look right? Or my head look too damn big for this picture? Or my head was just too damn big for this picture?
I mean, you've been losing weight.
I'm trying, I'm trying to do something.
Sam Jackson looks a little kind of stretched out but
it ain't Sam, it's Sam. Like the A is just long and shit. Sam. Well, damn. No, I'm just saying. But
is that from
Captain Marvel, Nick Fury? When he had, this is when he, before the eye incident, But of course, I mean, you go back like, Captain Marvel, whoop-de-doo. Yeah, of course. And they're already talking about the second one and shit. But either way. But But yeah, like I said, I know I have to get more active with it, you know, as far as in social media on everything. I mean, because one thing about it, this age we live in, social media is not just it being just a right to speak. It's just more so now. It's marketing, it's selling, it's everything now. I mean, it's how people make a living now. I mean, in general, you know, one girl, she was like, I know she was like, if this don't work out, I'm just gonna give me an OnlyFans page. I was like, shit. I said, and I was like, you lucky fuck. If I was a woman, I'd be in this motherfucker, my foot at my feet, just doing like this, making $20 every time I do it.
You know,
shit.
there are avenues if you're willing.
No G for P. No G for P. No G for P. No, that's that people that stands for no gay for pay. I'm not doing that. Hell no.
Come on, Ken.
Hell no.
So with that booty hole,
it'll be somebody who been like following me in like in the Kroger's and shit when I go shopping and shit, and be somebody telling me I'm your biggest fan. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, you're the hamburger guy. You got
to give me a little. I've been paying $50 every time I watch you. You owe me. You owe me.
That reminds me of Players Club when Diamond with a dude that Myron kept following her. It's like, look, I make sure you get home every night. And he's like this weird nerdy dude with the circle glasses and shit. And she was like, get out of my house. It was funny as shit. But yeah.
If you don't give it, I'm gonna take it, Ken.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Turn to a motherfucker like, all right, motherfucker, let's get it on. Like, no, some shit
you
like
ain't
that.
going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere. You know, and lose it. But yeah, but social media has become, I mean, one of the biggest things in the world as an outlet right now, as a source. I mean, it's a platform. It's giving you the right, the freedom of speech, and at the same time, it gives you. I mean, and also you want to think about kind of what you want to put out there, even though we joke around this, that, and the third, but we kind of put out some things positive. We put out a lot negative because that's just us. Like, we like to joke and have fun.
Yeah.
But, you know, in general, we're just sitting up here having and expressing our thoughts and everything. But in the end of the day, we hopefully, like, every once in a while you do listen and say, you know what? They made some sense, you know? So hopefully. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Bad advice time.
Oh, yes.
I'm 15 and my mother makes me go to church every Sunday. I don't like going. I believe in God, but I feel awkward when people ask me about it. My mother makes everything bad until she gets her way. I have tried talking to her about it, but she doesn't listen to me. I don't know what to do. Dilemma in Texas.
All right. 15 hates going to church.
Yep.
9 times out of 10, if this person is black, you have no other choice, because that's what happened to me. I was young and had to go to church. Like, if I'm telling you, it didn't matter. It didn't matter what day it was. If it was Sunday, it was Women's Day, get your ass up, you're going to church. It was Youth Day, get your ass up, you're going to church. Even if the church was over and they were having like they was hanging out in the kitchen at the church, get your ass up, we're going to church. That's what it was. That's what it is. But for him, if he's white, do what y'all normally do. Cuss the mom out and then you stay home. That's what white people do. Y'all get your way and shit.
That's not what I did.
I'm just saying, the white people sit there and cuss their mom out. I'm not going to church, Mom. F you, Mom. I'm going to play a game. And then well, okay, I guess Billy doesn't want to go. And then she just goes and comes back and brings him food. Here's some McDonald's. And then 10 years later, he's on TV for killing like a whole bunch of people in the school.
White people sound terrible.
Well, no, it's a joke. No, serious. No, I'm seriously joking. But in general, like, you know, you're 15, and seriously, you don't really have a say so yet. You're not like 18.
I mean, that's 19. I think what it boils down to.
Yeah, you're
is,
not grown yet.
You know, you're living in their house under their roof. That's
Yeah, you know, it's cool. You can.
It's only so much you can do about it. I got lucky because, you know, I grew up in a Catholic household, and my dad in Catholicism, when you're 13, you have like your first communion.
Right.
And so after that point, after we got to that point, if we didn't want to go anymore, you know, that was fine. He kind of let us choose at that point. But I still went to a Catholic high school. So, you know, I still had all that stuff. But, I mean, yeah, it's tough shit. You know,
it is. It is like I had no other choice.
Learn it for what it is, and you know, either utilize it to lead your life or use it as armor, as you know, what you don't agree with.
I'll say this when it comes to religion: you're going to learn it in a certain way that is told to you, but do your research afterwards to seek out what is your truth. Because regardless, it's going to be about your life. It's your journey. It's your walk. So learn what you learn. Cool, accept it, but go back and learn things for yourself. Because at the end of the day, people will say certain things, and it might not even be meant to be put that way. So, man.
Pardon me. I do think it's interesting that in all religion, it's as much about a framework for a working society as it is anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about the evolution of people and coming from, you know, people that didn't communicate very well in cave paintings, etc., at some point to survive, you know, tigers and panthers and snakes and alligators and, you know, bears and everything else trying to kill you.
Yeah.
You basically have to set up certain things that work, right? Like, you know, hey, maybe we shouldn't kill each other. Yeah. Hey, maybe we shouldn't, you know, piss each other off to the point where we kill each other by stealing food or women or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, so there, you know, if you look at most religions and the tenets of those religions, it's a framework on how to survive as a people as much as anything.
But you know, a lot of people they have trouble with taking it in like that.
Well, yeah, so you got to put some magic in it. You gotta sprinkle a little bit of dust on top of it and say, "Hey, look, this guy died, and 3 days later he came back. Hey, bada bing."
I still believe in that because, like I said, I've had visions.
That was added to the Bible afterwards.
Exactly.
It wasn't even a part of the original story.
Here's a fun fact that a lot of people, as far as in the like black culture, they don't, like I said, this religion wasn't given, it was forced upon.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they haven't come to one with that
for
yet.
Most of the world.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's
how a lot of that stuff spread.
That's what it is. I mean, that's why I say in general, people do your research and get things for you, you know, but at the same time, I'm not against what works for you. But even, and also another example of what you were saying, as far as in it being something to kind of like give structure to Order of a People. If you go back and watch one of my movies that I love that was in Denzel Washington, The Book of Eli.
Oh yeah.
People would look at that and see it as one way, you know, the villain, I can't think his name. He was Commissioner Gordon from, I can't think his name. He played Dracula.
Oh geez, now I can't remember his name because you said that.
But he was saying the whole time, and people didn't like they didn't figure out it was the Bible he's trying to get his hands on. But he was like, if I can get my hands on this book, the power that it has over people, he could control and manipulate them in a certain way. And people don't think about it like that because they only see it as this. So, I mean, it's just another food for thought to give people. Like I said, we're not here like trying to say religion is this, religion that, because at the end of the day, religion is whatever it is it comes for you to be.
Gary Oldman, yeah.
Gary is an old man now.
Erica would have killed me if I didn't get that one.
Oh, man.
I had to look it up because
she wasn't going to.
It was right there.
Yeah.
I knew the Gary part. I just couldn't think of Oldman.
Yeah, Gary is an old man now. He is.
Oh, he must have thought it was White Boy Day. He's an amazing actor.
But yeah, like I said, but religion wise, like I said, I don't denounce it or anything like that. I do believe in it. But once again, to understand it, research it. That's all I have to say on it. Research it and understand it.
All right. So basically, you're screwed. Get over it.
Shit.
All right. So next one. All right. I lost my dear mother-in-law 2 years ago. She was a wonderful person and I miss her. However, since her death, my in-laws have gone into overdrive ordering and gifting the family with items imprinted with her picture or with "in memory of" on them. There are plaques on chairs, memory gardens, pictures everywhere, T-shirts with her likeness, bumper stickers, an item of jewelry. At what point do you conclude that this is unhealthy and enough is enough? Sometimes I feel like I'm living in a shrine dedicated to her. Signed, sensitive situation.
All right, there's a show that used to come on all the time, and I watched it. It was How I Met Your Mother. You need to come in there and put like a big sign that says this is an intervention, and take all that shit down right in front of them, because that is. Don't get me wrong. You always gonna miss your loved ones, this, and the third. But I'm not finna sleep with a blanket that's made up with the memory of and be like curled up at night, or have pictures all of them looking at me. Like, I don't want that shit.
You don't want to have like a life-size dummy made up of the person so that you could snuggle them at night?
No. And exactly. And in fact, I don't want nobody looking at me just in case I rub or batch off my hand. No. Jesus. No, in general. but in general, I would say that's kind of a little bit too much. You know, it's always good to keep the obituary. It's always good to have your personal photos. We all together.
Yeah, I'm all for having mementos.
But you need
can get
to
a little too much.
You need to sit there and go, hey, get over it. Like, it's just like, I'm not saying get over it, but put some of this shit away. You know, because at the end of the day, some people, you know, they don't want to be looking around. They don't want that shit. That's just like every once in a while I look at a picture or a t-shirt of Golden Girls. Hell, only one of them left. Nobody want to see one lady with the rest of the ghosts.
Was she the oldest one too?
Who?
Who's left?
I think it's just Betty.
Betty White. That's
Betty
right.
White is the last
She's
one.
So great.
All of the Golden Girls, they are no longer golden. They are dust.
I hope she ends up like being like God. And has
probably
been down
him.
here just to keep an eye on us the whole time.
She probably know. She probably know. When she called and prayed to him, he come down like Betty old times. Like, what's going on? So like, you know, in general. But you
she
know,
goes by Betty, but her real name's Eve.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird. And back in the day, like in a heyday, that's like almost like 200 years ago. She wasn't bad looking. She wasn't.
Oh, she was gorgeous.
She was.
Back in the day, she was beautiful.
Betty. I was like, all right. I was all right. Betty was looking like Betty from the Flintstones.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh fuck, Wilma. Betty is the shit.
So, I think I want to do something new to end out every episode. I always get really kind of fascinated with some of the slang sexual terms that come out.
Oh God. And
a lot of times you can go to Urban Dictionary and find out all kinds of different stuff.
Oh God.
So, you know, there's your classics like your Boston cream pie, or, you know, your, you know what a hot Karl is? You're familiar?
No.
When you take a dump on someone's chest.
Oh God.
Then like a cold Karl would be like if they were laying underneath a glass table. And you poop onto the glass table.
Certain
like
stuff.
people are pretty gross. Okay, so
yeah, they are.
So I'm gonna just try to find a new creative one to read each podcast at the end. If you want to bring some of these to the table, I'm totally okay with it. Anybody, Ken and Karl podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah.
If you want to send us some of these that you've heard about,
Jesus
I think Jamie might probably want to add some of those in.
Oh man! Oh God! I already know. Hey, was gonna be like, yeah, I'm send them shit.
Okay, so this is the first one I'm bringing to the table. You ready?
Oh God, no.
The Montana musket loader.
Excuse me.
All right, you ready? Do you want to take a guess as to what a Montana musket loader is? A sexual reference?
It's probably some shit R. Kelly already done did.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you are making sweet, tender love to a woman, you throw some good old Copenhagen long cut in your lip. Then after a minute or two, you take it out, place it on her anus, and stuff it in with your penis.
Something that R. Kelly probably already did. Probably, yeah. He probably said, "This the remix." You know
I don't chew tobacco, so I'm probably not going to try that one.
I don't advise nobody to try none of that shit. That it just sounded like a Montana musket. Like it sounded like a tobacco product. It really did. It really did. It sounds like you're literally stuffing cancer into somebody.
Kind of.
You're killing them
Wouldn't
off.
that kind of like as you were stuffing it in there, go into the head of your dick too?
That just don't.
And all the juices and stuff, because it's all chewed up and soaking in your mouth.
That's not even something that would turn a woman on. Say something dirty to me. A Montana musket. What is that? She would be turned off and get up and leave. Like, what is that? And then,
you know what a dirty Sanchez is, right?
Yeah, it's been a while since I heard that term.
Do you know what it is?
I've heard that term before in movies and everything.
Okay, so you're doing her doggy style. You stick your finger in her ass, and then you wipe the shit on her mustache, like over her lips, so she's got a shit stash.
That's just some Daniel Dirty Sanchez. That's just some dirty shit. Jesus,
it's a dirty Sanchez right there. That's what they call it.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't support that. I can't. It's just no. This is too much.
All right. So tell everybody where they can find us.
You can find us on IG. You always know it better than I do.
Ken Jr.321
Ken Jr.321
and At the Bone Church.
At the Bone Church.
At Ken and Karl podcast.
That's right. You know, he gonna have all this pop up on the screen.
The lightsabers.
The lightsabers. That's the best part, and especially when they go and that's the shit. Yeah. Please, all comments, we take them and we go with them. We thank all of you guys for watching. Keep supporting us. Things are cooking up. They really are cooking up, and they're about to explode because it's something new. We want to do something new.
It's coming.
It's really coming. It's going to be retarded, but hey.
Yep.
But it's me.
Yep. All right. Also check out oddmodworks.com. Lots of artwork up there. Yes. You can live stream the audio version. But you can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. We're also on SoundCloud. So definitely check us out, like, subscribe, all that kind of great stuff. And peace.
Peace. Oh, God.